Once you start winning, it's so easy to keep winning. Because you've won, and you know that you can do it, and you've seen yourself struggle to pull it off, and you believe that you can win again. There's a good chance you can win again because you've won before. It's only hard to win the first time. Once you've won, once you've given 100% of yourself to something and pulled it off, then you know it is very likely to happen again. And becoming a programmed probability machine that sees huge chances of success every time they dedicate themselves is the easiest way to end up richer than you could have ever imagined. Make a list of all the things you would do if you were guaranteed to win. 100%. A genie appears and says to you, the next 10 activities you partake in have a 100% success rate. If you enter the cage, you're going to win. 100%. You get to say you're a cage fighter for the rest of your life. Everyone wants to be a cage fighter. There's not a man alive who doesn't want to be a cage fighter, but most men are too scared, so they just cope and go to the gym and lift weights and try and look like a cage fighter without actually being a cage fighter because they're afraid, because they're cowards. But you, if you get in there, are guaranteed to win. You're guaranteed to have that reputation for the rest of your life. It's a guaranteed win. If you start a company, it's a guaranteed win. You're going to get paid. It's going to be successful. You're going to be a millionaire. Guaranteed. Make a list of the 10 things you do if they were guaranteed wins. And once that list is made, look in the mirror and decide to give them 100% of your effort. All of your heart and soul. You're going to try your very best. You're going to keep your mind open, keep your heart open, keep your energy levels high, and you're going to dedicate yourself until the end of the year. Before Christmas comes, you're going to give them everything you've got. You're going to agree you want to do a cage fight. You're going to go train with everything you got. You're going to agree you're going to launch a business. You're just going to sit there and promise to give 100% of yourself to the 10 things you definitely would do if you had a 100% guaranteed victory at the end of it. And if you do all of that, I guarantee you 2026 will be the most fantastic year of your life. Because the most unknown secret of the universe is that you are guaranteed to win everything if you try your best. People always talk about if you try your best, it's okay to fail. It doesn't matter if you fail, if you tried your best. But they don't talk about the real secret of the universe. The real secret of the universe is this. If you try your best, you never fail. I promise you, if you could turn your brain 100% on and remove all distractions and focus on something that matters for 20 minutes a day, for 20 minutes a day, you can ignore everything else and you can give 100% of your consciousness towards a task. You will be massively successful. 20 minutes a day of focused exercise, 20 minutes a day of focused lessons on how to make money, 20 minutes a day of learning, 20 small minutes of focus, and you will win. Those 20 100% minutes are worth more than 1,000 years of 80% half on, because everybody's half on. And you don't get a competitive advantage when you're going through life half paying attention to opportunities, half paying attention to things you hear. So is everyone else. You have heard about Bitcoin and you didn't take any action. If you would have dedicated 100%, 20 minutes conscious investigation into Bitcoin when you first heard about it, you would now be a billionaire. It is extremely important that you learn this skill. I'm not trying to steal your life from you. You're allowed to be distracted by things. You're allowed to live the exact same life you live now. But for 20 minutes, it is that consciousness that gives you the competitive advantage above everyone else. Because everybody around you is asleep. They're asleep to opportunities. They hear about things, they do nothing. They're asleep to how they're being lied to. They're asleep to how they feel. They're asleep to why they do what they do. Why are they with the person they're even with? Is it because it's the only person who tolerates them? Nobody is awake. If you wake up, if you stick your head above the crowd, if you look down on everybody, it's extremely easy to plot a path to victory. So, you need 20 minutes a day of consciousness, and that consciousness must be focused on physical health or financial literacy. You know what's amazing to me? People who refuse to succeed in life don't seem to understand that being successful is actually the laziest thing you can do. Think about it. Which is harder? Which is harder to do? Being overweight and being self-conscious of the fact you're overweight and not having a girlfriend because you're overweight and everyone mocking you for being overweight, or just going to the gym? Which one's harder? It's harder to be fat and lack self-respect and lack the respect of others and be lonely forever than it is to go to the gym. Going to the gym's the lazy option. It's the easy option. Go gym, be in shape. You got to deal with any of that crap. Same with working hard and making money. What's easier, being in a constant state of FOMO and guilt and poverty, or dedicating yourself for a few hours a day so you can pay your bills? You're actually taking the harder option. The lazy option, the truly lazy option, is to be successful. The real dedication and hard work doesn't come from success. It comes from failure. Because every single waking second and all of the minutes you're asleep, you have to deal with the consequences of your monumental underperformance. Why do you go to the gym, Andrew? Is it because you're dedicated? No, it's because I'm lazy. I go to the gym because I'm lazy and I don't want to be dedicated to being a fat fuck. And I make money because I'm lazy and I don't want to be dedicated to poverty. Do you understand the inverse here? Do you understand the laziest thing you can do is have the best life ever? If you truly love chilling so much, if you truly lack motivation, if you're truly not a tryhard, then just get stuff done. Then you can stop thinking about it, stop worrying about it. That's the best thing you can do. If you're really dedicated, stay ugly, stay fat, and stay broke. Go for it. Now you get to dedicate your life to eternal suffering. Enjoy. When you get a chance to do something and it feels hard or it feels difficult, you need to get very excited. You need to say, this feels difficult. This feels hard. I'm struggling to stay motivated. I'm struggling to be disciplined. That means it's going to work. You should be very excited by the things which feel like a slow grind, which feel like they are boring. It's hard to pay attention to them. It feels like they're never going to work, because I promise you, if you dedicate yourself 100%, those are the ones that work. So people sit and they try and conflate the issue to avoid the hard work because they're cowards or they're lazy, and they sit there and go, oh, there must be some other way. There isn't. And even if there was, the hard workers would have found it, and they'd be doing it with hard work applied on top anyway, so it still wouldn't work for a fucking loser. Going to the gym is a search for truth, because you can either lift that bar or you can't. When you train yourself to become more capable, that is a search for truth. Money that you make, they can take it off you, yes. But when you dedicate yourself to money, you can call that real. You can spend it. You can take care of people you love. Those are real things. But if you want to be an honest person or a good person, perhaps these are the most important things you can actually do with your day. It's train, it's dedicate yourself, work hard, make money, love those you love, because so much of the world is garbage. If you scroll Twitter, every single person is full of shit. Every single person picks and chooses. But if you go to the gym and you lift that weight, you get stronger. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't simplicity beautiful, to say, the world is so complicated, but if I go to the gym and I lift this weight, I get stronger? Isn't that enough to give you some peace, for you to wake up and think, I'm going to dedicate myself and I'm going to train and I'm going to get stronger tomorrow because I trained today and I didn't want to train, but I did it anyway. And now I'm stronger than I was. And that is 100% definitively true. No maybes, no ifs, no buts. It is a fact that I have made a reality myself. I can force this outcome, and forced outcomes are what you're always looking for in life. Every single time you were worried about something, whether it happened or it didn't happen, eventually you got over it and you kind of forgot. So all of the time you've spent worrying about things was wasted, because in the end it didn't matter. Because time moves on and you forget, and you have new problems to be concerned with. Makes you wonder why you worry about anything at all. What are you worrying about right now? Because in 5 years you're going to be worrying about something else. Is worry just a bad habit? Sure, you should prepare. You should be aware. You should be perspicacious. You should understand what might go wrong. You should understand your car might break down. You're going to end up stranded in the absolute middle of nowhere. But worry. Am I worried now? No, I'll sort it out. In a week, it won't matter. In a day, it won't matter. Nothing matters. I gave up worry long ago once I learned that every time I've ever worried, it all just came to nothing. You must program yourself, and program yourself to the point where you understand there is a 100% probability that you are going to give your all. There's a 100% probability that you're going to try harder than everybody else. Because once you do that, opportunities look different. They no longer look risky. They no longer look difficult. They no longer look hard to do. It's simply a matter of sitting there going, well, that's an opportunity. I can make a whole bunch of money with that. A lot of people are going to quit. That looks like it's going to be tedious. It's going to take a lot of time and energy. Most people are going to quit, but I don't quit. I'm a probability machine, and I know, based on my past and the life I've lived, that I don't quit. So I'm gonna win. If everything goes your way all the time, you end up a drug addict. All these people with these perfect lives, these young child stars, why do they end up drug addicts? Because they haven't got to worry about paying the bills. They haven't got to worry about being known. They don't have respect upon their name. They're 12. Everything's sorted out. Well, I got to push it further. They're looking for struggle. We look for struggle in things. That's why we conquered the world. That's why we sailed the 7 seas. That's why we built these big, tall buildings. That's why we built civilization. We're looking for struggle. If you had a life with absolutely no struggle in it, you would genuinely hate your existence. You're the worst thing that could happen to you. They used to punish war generals with exile. Exile's not jail. Exile's not a lack of food. You got pussy in exile. You're on an island with food and pussy chilling. Why would that be a punishment? Because if you're a war general, you want combat, you want difficulty. Losers, weaklings would love a life of just simple comfort without having to worry about dying. That's what weaklings want. But warriors, we want to struggle. That's how you punish a real G. So you just stop complaining about all the things you're worried about. Truly, they're a blessing. You should be happy that you have the life and the time and the ability and the capability and the opportunity to worry about these things. I'm super excited for all the shit that stresses me out, and my shit's bigger than your shit. Life is fun because life tries to hit you back. Every time somebody complains that they were surprised by something or sideswiped by something, I ask them truly, do you think you'd be a happy person if absolutely everything in your life went perfectly all of the time? You never had any problems ever, and you got what you want without effort, without work, without trying, without concern, without worry, without anxiety. You just got to live in this utopia. Do you think you'd be a happy, contented person? Because anyone who's come anywhere close to that, which are these child celebrities, end up a mess and end up on drugs. So clearly it doesn't make them happy. Do you think you'd actually be happy without your problems? The truth to life is, you're happy when you solve problems. Solving problems makes you happy. Not having problems doesn't make you happy. And if you need to solve problems to be happy, you need problems in the first place. So perhaps be a little bit more thankful for the problems you do have. Especially if there's something asinine and mundane, especially if you haven't lost your arm. You now get the dopamine and the satisfaction of solving a problem. And until that problem is solved, are you really suffering? Truthfully, are you in a ditch? Has napalm come and burnt your skin off? No. Problems are fantastic. Problems are the seeds that happiness grows from. Take it from me, a billionaire, with Paganis and Bugattis and Yescos and penthouses in the sky and homes all around the world and a yacht and a private jet. The second you have everything you want, you're going to want something else. So you might as well get used to enjoying wanting things. In fact, one of the saddest days is when you realize you have everything you want and you lose that one day I hope to have. That's actually a fantastic feeling. That one day I hope to have, if I save up, maybe one day I'll get. The feeling that you have right now, you need to enjoy it. Don't be mad that you don't have what you want. Enjoy that feeling. Because once you have everything you want and you're sitting there with millions and millions and millions of dollars and there's nothing to buy, nothing excites you, you don't go to the mall, you don't want to go shopping, you don't want to look at links on the internet, you don't want to dream, all of it's done. You have everything, it's boring. Once that happens, you miss the days where you'd sit and go, man, if I save up, I can get that BMW. Or man, if I work really hard, I can get a Lamborghini. Or that $2 million watch, wow, that's life-changing for me. Once you have everything, then you sit around with all your money and you think, there's nothing to buy now but power. And that's why the rich people do what they do with politics, because there's not enough items on earth worth buying. So you just try and buy power and buy control over other people. And that's where people's minds get warped. That's where the bad things begin to happen. But if you're at home right now and you have a dream, which is some material item, a car, a house, retiring your mother, a holiday, a boat, whatever it is. If you have a dream, enjoy the dream. Because the second that you have everything you've dreamt of, you're going to want something else. And people say, oh, well, you're happy because you're rich. No, I'm rich because I'm happy. Because if I wasn't capable of dealing with all of this stress and all of these governments trying to put me in jail and assassins turning up to my door, people trying to kill me and children all around the world and huge bills and being well known to the fact that I get death threats, all this garbage. If I couldn't deal with all this, I wouldn't be able to make money. So I'm not happy because I'm rich. I'm rich because I can stay happy irregardless of the things that happen to me. And I can do that because I can control my own mind. I promise you, I decide when I'm happy. I decide I'm happy, and that's it. And I smile, and the chemicals are released in my brain, I still have control over my innate technology given to me by God, and I'm happy.